All right. So, order of events for today. For Liam and anyone else who is not here, because it's just the morning. And by the way, there are two of you that never turned in your Chapter 7 Mastery. So that's just going to go in map as missing unless you turn it in today, which you can. Because, I'm not going over answers, but I am going over the help again. So we're going to talk real quick about the Mastery. Then we're going to talk about homework requests. Then, really, it's your time for Desmos, but my hope was that you'd already get your computer out and, get logging in, because that takes time and it feels like wasted time. So, that's not what I wanted to start. Actually, real quick, before I move on to talking mastery, let's talk homework request. So, simple interest is not always annual. I forget if it was somebody in this class or the other class, but this question got requested. I bet a lot of us can actually benefit from it, because I think some of us are letting ourselves think we know what we're doing, and now this test shows you might not actually. And that's where guys practicing effectively. When you're doing practice, if a question asks you to do something and you don't know how to do it, get help. Interest is what? I is what? For simple, what is I? Anybody? P times R times T. This is also a question on the test. Well, not these numbers, but simple interest. So if you got that one wrong on the test, you should probably be listening now and maybe checking what you have on your homework. This is 812, 812, 821, I forget. It's one of those two. Which one is it? 812? So, principal is the amount we start with. Time is the time, but you got to check how the interest is calculated. So, you have to check interest calculated how often, and then figure out, well, how many of those has it been? This one's not bad because it's monthly and it gives us 6 months. But if it said monthly and it tells us a year, then we have to figure out that's 12 months. Or if it tells us weekly, well, a year is 52 weeks. But this is monthly, so our time is going to be 6, but the rate seemed to still get a lot of us on the test. The rate, you might want to write this down, is your percent value divided by 100 like percent tells you to do. If you are revising your test right now, stop, because you also don't know how to do it, because it happens on graph paper. I will not grade anything that's written on the test, moving forward. I already did that. Revisions go on graph paper. We're not revising the test yet. We're talking homework. So if you're revising your test, please stop. I can see. I'm tall. I can see what's on your desk. Rate. We take the percent, and percent means out of 100, or divide by 100. 2 over 100 becomes 0.02, which is the decimal form of our percent. So 0.02 is what gets plugged in and we use. And yes, you could do the division by 100 at a different spot in the problem, but that's not a good idea to get in that habit. The habit you need to get into is rate is decimal form of percent. Guys, that's turn on the TV, actually channel 4 or whatever, something with commercials. Guarantee if you watch a show, not even a half hour, there will be a commercial that talks about rates. Because car rates, house rates, rates get used all over the place. So that is simple interest. So what, 90, so 0.9 times 6, $5.40. I think. Somebody double check my math, but I think. Is this 540?
Yeah, I think that's what I got. I'm not sure.
I guess I have the calculators. 45 times 0.02 times 6. Hey, I can still do math. But that's only the interest. That's only the interest. how do we then find balance? So when you get paid back, I hope they don't just pay you back the interest. I hope they pay you back everything. So how do we figure out the balance owed back? Aren't you? Yeah, add what you started with.
And then you got 15.4.
$50.40. Now, in this class, did we talk about the interquartile range parts of... Okay, because I couldn't remember which class I forgot to discuss with the IQR part of the histogram question. So, like, I'm not super worried about part D. It's really just trying to make you compare right hand, left hand, and talk about how left hand is decently better. We will show answers of these tomorrow, like, before we collect them. Guys, again, your homework doesn't have to be right versus wrong, but when it's wrong, sometimes I just have you come see me so we can talk about the mistake you made to try to fix it before you get to a mastery, thinking that's how you do the problem. This is a bit more like high school stats level, comparing interquartile ranges to talk about, like, differences. That's one of those CPM sort of like preview type problems. But I think we figured out yesterday that IQR here was 6.
Yeah.
Because I grabbed another blank paper, of course. I think I gave mine away. All right, so then, Lydia, what's up?
Can I go get the homework so we check the problem?
Sure, but I mean, we're checking answers tomorrow, but you can go if you want. So the I told you so moment, because of course I'm a youngest child, and if I get the chance to say I told you so, I'm gonna take that chance. Charlie Brown. Did Schoology close again on me? Nope, maybe not. So, from 12-2. One of the main things missed that was extremely frustrating. One of the biggest things missed, I explicitly told you how to do. To figure out percent increase or percent decrease, we have to start by finding the delta. Change, the difference, what happened. But percent decrease is not a negative percent. That's not how that works. It's just how many percent did you go up or down by. So again, it's what did we subtract by? What was the change? That's where you have to start. And then you divide by what you came from. That's the only thing I'm talking about again today, because if you want more help that I already gave you, go back and watch the video again. Aside from that, if your test says see me, you can come take care of that right now during class. If you go try to get help from the video, or try to get help from a friend, or your brain is smarter now than it was when you took the test. I mean, it is. You're smarter now than you were yesterday. If none of that helps, come see me and ask me for help. Right? But you can now, doing revisions, work with each other and all that. Hang on just a second, Vivian. Revisions do not go on the test. I've already given feedback on this test. All my pen is permanent. I can't erase the X that I marked your question wrong. If you erase your work and change your answer, it looks like it's wrong. Because pen is permanent. So we're going to take a piece of graph paper, and assuming that you did not get a mastery, because a lot of us got progressings that were honestly avoidable, we're going to give our paper a header of Chapter 7, Mastery Revisions. And then your name. And you can put a date on there if you want. That also allows me to put your new grade just on this. I mean, I'll probably cross out the old grade anyways. People have asked me, do I care how you turn these in? Staple to the front, staple to the back. I don't really care, but if you want, if you staple it on the front, then, when I give your mastery back, that original, whatever, would be covered up, and then your new grade could be on the front. If you want to staple it on the back so that you can still see the header of the paper, like when it's in your binder, like I don't really care. Front is kind of easier for me. So if you want to know what's easier, stapling on the front is kind of easier. So your options of tasks right now. Revise your Chapter 7 Mastery. Complete the Desmos, which is just refreshing our angle work. I will tell you, slide 12 is solvable. When you get to it, gut reaction is like, I can't, we don't know enough information. I'm telling you, it is solvable. So if you go into that problem with the mentality of like, no, yeah, we can do this. You just got to think outside the box a little bit. That's slide 8. That's where things start to get difficult. I don't know if we're actually going to pull back together and talk about this stuff. Chapter 7 Mastery is not in map yet, but it is quarter 2. So if I was you, I would maybe revise that like now. Up to you, because I can't make the choices for you. If you have a CME, you don't need to do your own revisions. You just need to come see me. If it's a progressing, you still can come see me, but there's probably enough messed up that we need to rewrite some work and like redo things. Now, if you got something wrong, like, I don't know, I'm going to pick on, I don't even want to say their name, but it's like, this is kind of a silly mistake and it was definitely avoidable. But if you got one of these problems wrong and we're going to redo it on graph paper, like we restart by writing the original problem on our graph paper. So you would just label your graph paper, like say this is the first one I had wrong. So I might then on my paper say, okay, 5B, and I would start by rewriting the whole problem, 6.2C plus 8. Oh, I forget which one of you said, like, nice number. 1, 2, 3, 4. But it works out, like, the math, I mean, it doesn't work out super nice, but it does work out. And then what do? Show that work of how we get to our answer. Right, your graph paper that you're turning in as your revisions, if it just has answers, it will just have a P. We show our work of how we figured it out this time better than last time. Any questions? So going back to that binder check thing, you should have headphones. If you need to get into Schoology and go watch this video that was me trying to help you avoid getting a P, go watch that video. If you need to look stuff up, if you need to check your notes, if you need to go back into the Chapter 7 notes and look at stuff. Which is crazy because of course, now you logged me out. I let you guys use resources and still it doesn't seem like you care. And sorry for those of you that like got masteries or like have like a CME for mastery. Like you did pretty much what you were supposed to do. Maybe you did heed my advice, but a lot of people didn't, and it's kind of frustrating because we could have avoided a lot of these progressives. All right, I'll quit whining. Anyone else want to complain about anything? It's cold outside. We can complain about that.
It's too cold outside.
Yeah.
Wait, it's cold outside for you?
I mean, yeah, I'm cold-blooded. Thin-skinned or whatever you want to say. Like, I get cold easy.
I'm cold-blooded.
All right. So I know there are people in here with CMEs, so I'm going to stop my recording so it's not awkward when you walk up here and your face is just like in the recording. But yeah, we're just working the rest of this time. Assuming you don't have like revisions or whatever to do, the Desmos is kind of fun and it just refreshes our angle work.